Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. Sorry, let me silence my phone. This is Katrina. You're at Sow and Tare, and we do this every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. That's Pacific time. We do a live chat. So, for those that are new here, if you have a comment, you have a question, you want to be involved in the discussion, go ahead and put a comment in the chat. And I'm going to be going through the chat, and we're going to come up with people have fantastic discussion topics that we can talk about. And then partway through, I will be giving you guys a discussion topic we can talk about and go back and forth a little bit, and then we'll go back to comments. So please keep all comments family friendly. Here we go. Welcome, everybody. You guys are always here before me. Got to scroll up. Hey, Aaron's here. Welcome, Aaron. Says, hello, friends. Hey, Katrina. Welcome, welcome. Erica says, hello, Katrina. Hi, everyone. Hello, welcome. Truck 3 Warden says, hello, everyone. Hello. Erica says, I got a German Shepherd puppy about 6 weeks old today. One of my older dogs found her in the ditch. Oh, wow. Well, they are good dogs and train her well, and it'd be good. Truck 3 Warden says, that's exciting. My favorite breed of dog. You have one too, right? Yeah. Don says, hello, everyone from Southwest Central Illinois. I am the seventh like. Don, identifying yourself. Welcome. Erica says, all my dogs are German Shepherd or Great Pyrenees. Awesome. I met a very sweet Great Pyrenees today. That was nice. Truck 3 Warden says, we have 2 males coming in about a month. They are fun. Wow. Everybody's getting doggies but me. I want a doggy. Hey, Landry's here. Hi, Brad. Welcome. Says hello, everyone. David's here. Hi, David. Welcome. Hi to everyone from East Central Oklahoma. Awesome. Hey, Verna's here. Verna says, wow, many are here tonight. LOL. Glad I got the first like in last night. LOL. Evening, everyone. Welcome, Verna. Verna is my moderator. You'll see her in blue, Vay's Place. And she also does a live chat on Saturday in the morning. And she raises quail and cuy in her apartment. So check her out. And everybody's saying hi. Oh, and Verna had a little hatch of old eggs. Verna, I want to know how old they are. How old were they? Got 12 chicks, 3 wild and 9 whites. Cool. Out of how many? Always good when that happens, right? When you're like, oh, I didn't collect in time. Gonna put in some old eggs. So hatch rates for she's talking about quail. Hatch rates for quail, typically you can put them in up to 7 days. They're not going to lose fertility. After that, you might lose some fertility. So that's something to think about when you are collecting your eggs. For chickens and stuff like that, I do not know if it was similar. I'm sure there's something similar. I just don't know the days. And Erica wants to know what hatch rate and how old, Dawn says. That's fantastic. Erin is saying, hey, everyone. Hey, I think we already said unknown age eggs. You think somewhere over 2 weeks. Wow. Hey, we'll take 33% with that old egg. Right, Verna? Yeah, Erica says, wow, not bad for old eggs. PJ's is here. Welcome, PJ. I'm here on time. Woohoo. It's late in New York, I know. Welcome. Everybody's saying hi. Good job, Erica says to PJ. Hey, Steve's here. Welcome, Steve. Good evening. I'm alive. Good thing. Hopefully you're doing better than just alive, but hopefully you're doing good. All right. Everybody's saying hi. About time. Aaron says, Steve, you're back. Nice. Hey, Guidros is here. Guidros Urban Homestead. Hey, friends. Welcome. And everybody's saying hi. All right. Everybody's saying hi. Goodness. just say I'll say hi. Foul Mouth Girls Farm. I like that name. Foul as in birds. Hello all from Georgia. Welcome, welcome. Wow, you guys aren't very talkative. All right. Well, who has a topic? Because you guys usually have topics by now. So this week, you guys saw hopefully on my Monday video that actually went out. It actually worked, and so I don't know if my software issue was because it needed an update, because it did update, or if it was that particular video I was trying to do. So I'm going to be working on that video after the live for you guys tomorrow. And we'll see if that works, if it's a video thing or if it is a other, something else going on. But yeah, hopefully I'm back to posting. So you guys got enough shorts for me though during the meantime. I see Verna put my affiliate link for Quail University. I'm gonna put another link for you guys because Linda updated the link for me. So this is my affiliate link. I sent it to you, Verna, on Facebook, but I think it was right before this, so I probably didn't see it. For Quail University. I think the other one still works. I don't know. But yeah, there you go with that. So I did put out we processed 45 of them. They're still in the ice bath this weekend. And then yesterday I put out 65 the Egyptian fees from my shire. So those guys went out. I think they were like 5 weeks old. They're much older than they should be, but we got them out in the aviary. And when I do that, I kept 6 adults in there, and I usually, if I'm switching the whole thing out, I usually leave some adults in there to teach them to drink and where the water is and where the food is and where the grit is, because they'll figure it out if they're in there. Otherwise, training them to the water cups, it can take time. Sometimes they get it right away, and sometimes it takes time. So I just figure if I leave some birds that already know the system, the other birds will figure it out, and they are. So I mean, I checked on them today, in the morning and then after work, and they were doing great. They're all drinking and eating and dust bathing in the chips and all that. So yeah. All right, let's see. Erica's taking care of a sick puppy, so a little distracted. Is that the puppy that you found, that your dog found? Hopefully it's doing well. Verna put a link to QuailCon 2023. If you don't know about that is a quail convention in September, the first weekend in September. I'll be doing a master class there on aviaries. So it's in Ohio. And if you're interested, click the link. Aaron says, Katrina, let's talk about gardening, since I think spring is here for most of us. I think we are closer to summer weather right now in South Louisiana. Awesome. Gardening. Yeah. We've been getting temperatures in the 30s still at night. Really weird. So I am so hesitant to put anything out right now. I want to plant my green beans. Maybe I should just do that this week, and if they don't come up or they get singed, do it again. We've been having really weird weather here. It's been warmer in the day and then dropping down. I don't think it's supposed to get down in the 10-day forecast. I don't think it's supposed to get down for like past the 40s. So maybe I'll plant my green beans. All right, let's see what people have to say, and then we'll get back to that comment, because that actually was what I was going to talk about. Brad says, we have our very first incubation going on. Our Surma eggs started pipping today. Awesome. Sir, I probably said that wrong. It's a chicken, right? Sarama? Yeah. So is that the black one? I think that might be the black one. I might be wrong. Awesome. I hope you had a good hatch and that you have the humidity high enough they can get all the way through and do great. Awesome. Congratulations. Aaron says we will be harvesting some bush beans this week. Wow, you're up and going. I think maybe your temperatures didn't get as low as our temperatures here, because we got low, and I was just afraid to plant anything outside. But congratulations! I will be planting. There's a variety that I found and tested last year. That is a stringless variety of green bean, and I really, really like it. And I don't remember the name of it. It's actually sitting over there. But anyway, it's a stringless one because to me, that just saves so much time. And so I'll be planting those on trellises, but then I do want to plant in a green stock. I have two green stalks already, and I have two more that are in the garage in boxes still. And I want to do bush beans for the green beans in there, basically because I want to use up the seeds. But I think it will be a good place to do it because you'll be standing, not like, bending over and harvesting like that. So I think that that's going to be a good use for part of a green stalk, and then have basil on the top of that one. So that's my plan. But I'm basically using up seeds because I really like this other one. And if I had more land, I might do more bush beans, but I don't have a whole lot of land. If you guys, just so people who are new, who might not know, I am on 7,000 square foot. That is what my lot is. It has the house, the garage, the screen and porch, the pond, all the animals, all the fruit trees, all of that. So my space is more limited. So I want to do more vertical gardening, which means you basically can double your square footage, right? Or triple or whatever. So I'm going to be focusing on the green beans that climb. So yeah, green beans. I think I'll need to get them in the ground this week. And then if it gets cold again, I don't know. It got down like 38 the other night. All right, let's see. Steve says, "Yep, there is a long link and a short link." Yep, I think they both work. Linda I think it was yesterday. I don't know. She texted me and said, "Hey, here's your link." All right. JJ, hey JJ, welcome. Hi all, doing some chores away from keyboard, listening. Welcome. Verna says the link didn't work. Was there a space? Let me try it again. See if that works. I just put it in the search thing and it worked. Anyway, you can just keep doing the old one if it didn't work. It worked for me just now. Interesting. Yeah, just use the old one then. It'll still work. Oh, let's see. You guys jumped. You're talking now. Got you talking. Thank you, Verna. Hey, Brooks here, Cali Quail Keepers. Welcome. Before you say anything, I have some of Cali Quail Keepers' eggs in my incubator below you guys right now. So I got 20 of her eggs in there, and I have a total of 90 eggs in the incubator. So the rest of them are from my Jumbo Wilds. So that's going to be fun. Cali Quail Keepers mails to people within California. So she does not go out of state, but anywhere in California is my understanding. So contact her if you are in need of local eggs for hatching. All right. So Brooks says, hi, I have a topic. Let's talk about how you cook all that food in your garden. You can eat for weeks. Yes. Let's talk about that. So the key to having a garden is using your produce. And sometimes I don't do that very well. Sometimes you're out and about and you're like, oh, let's just go grab something. Oh, let's make a quesadilla. I love quesadillas, guys. Who doesn't? Let's do this quick thing. And so part of what I've done and part of my goal this year, I didn't do this hardly all last year, and I don't know why, is dehydrating things. So like the borage is going strong right now. Brooke, I'm sending you borage. I haven't been to the post office yet. But you have all these things and they're growing, and what do you do with them? You have a bunch of it at once, and what can you do? So like borage, you can eat the leaf. It's a little prickly if you eat it, fresh, unless you eat it very, very young. It tastes like cucumber. The flowers taste like cucumber. It's a good plant. It's very healthy for you. It tastes like cucumber. So what I've done with the leaves is I dehydrate those and grind them, and then that becomes my cucumber. So where I am, cucumber doesn't do great. The Armenian cucumber does, which is actually a melon. I don't know if you guys know that Armenian cucumber is a melon. I mean, cucumber is kind of a melon too, but it's more closer to being a melon. And if you let it ripen all the way, it'll get like orange inside. But those do good if you eat them as a cucumber. Those do good here with the heat. And because of the heat, I've never been successful growing any other kind of cucumber besides Armenian cucumbers. But if I want to make tzatziki sauce, which I have a video for, by using my dehydrated borage instead of cucumber and some dehydrated chocolate mint instead of fresh mint, because you're doing this outside of season, you can make that any time of year. So part of that is dehydrating things while you have abundance, or another thing you can do is blanch things and freeze them. So like the chard and the beet tops, the beet greens, I like both of those. The beet greens, actually, I need to do this right now. I need to do that probably this week. But the beet greens, they're really good until the plants start to bolt, which mine are starting to bolt, and then they get bitter. So I think right now I probably should be going out there and gathering a whole bunch of leaves, and you can either dehydrate it, powder it, and use it as a powder that's added to something, or what I think is a better idea for this case is to blanch them, which means you put them in boiling water for, I think it's 30 seconds. You're going to have to look up it would be for whatever spinach is, blanching. And you put them in boiling water for that long, then immediately pull them out, put them in ice water that cools them down, that stops them from cooking. And then you can put them in the freezer, and that way it's not mush. If you don't do the blanching process, it's going to be mush. So that's two things I can do right now with the things that are growing right now. You have root crops that you can store or you can can. And I haven't canned any root. Well, no, I did can carrots once. It was in 2020 when Moswell's girls were getting all these baby carrots from their school and they didn't eat them. And so I canned a few cans for later, so they wouldn't go bad. But you can can them, and then you can just use them. So here is a key. I'm sure Brooke already knows this, but I'm going to share this with the group. You can stir fry anything. It doesn't have to have soy sauce on it. It definitely doesn't have to have bell pepper in it, because that's nasty in my opinion. You can stir fry anything. So anything that you have growing in your garden and you don't know how to cook it, just try it. Try stir frying it and it'll be good. So yeah, use the stuff that's in your yard. And part of that is knowing what's coming up. So maybe having an inventory. Yeah. So what do you do? What do you do with your stuff, Brooke? All right. David says, aviary question left over from last night. We just opened up our aviary with older quail. How would be best to introduce young quail to the group of adults? So I do have some videos on this, which you can watch. I think it's like introducing a new quail or something like that. But what I do is I introduce them between 3 and 4 weeks old. And at that point, the young ones don't have the adult hormones, so they're not seen as a threat. They don't, like the adults just say, that's just a baby. I don't need to do anything to it. Sometimes you'll have the males try and mount the young females, and that can be a little traumatic for the little ones. So I have been successful in doing this 2 ways. One, just introduce them, and usually I have it's baby explosion, and it's into the aviary, and there's more babies than adults. That's usually the case. because usually I grow them up till 8 weeks and butcher some of them and keep some of them as breeders, right? And so that's one way. And there's some caveats here I'll go through. Another way is I did this once because I just had this male that was just trying to mount all the little ones, and it was not okay. So what I ended up doing is I ended up putting a crate that they could actually see through, and it turned out could actually get through. The babies could. And by crate, I mean like a wire. It was a wire, basically a wire cage. And that way I only had 3 males in the aviary at that point. But they lived in there. They got their own food and water in there while the babies grew up a little bit. And then once they were old enough to kind of handle their activities, I let them back out. And that worked really well because they still were a part of the system. They weren't separated from the group. They weren't, they didn't have to go through that whole, I'm higher up on the pecking order than you. And it worked really well. So that's the timing and what you do with the males. If you're in the 3 to 4 week period, the females shouldn't be an issue at all. And the males usually aren't. It just was that one time. And that's the solution I came up with, and it worked. So, and they reintegrated just fine. Because they never left, right? So besides those 2 scenarios, what else can you do? It's good to introduce near evening, because that way they go to sleep and they wake up and they have new neighbors, they have less time to fight about it. And if they stay the night and then wake up and it's like, oh, you're there. Okay. You're going to have you're probably going to have some interactions that are just like, okay, who's in charge? And it'll probably figure itself out pretty quick. But the thing that I do is I give them something to do. So my aviaries have deep litter, so that's wood chips, and I turn them with a pitchfork. And before I have anybody new into the aviary, I always do that. I turn the whole entire thing, and they get so busy looking through and having fun with all the stuff that I just turned up that they don't even bother the young ones. And the young ones are so like enthralled with dust bathing or chip bathing in the wood chips that they don't mind. So everybody's busy. So basically the two things I would advise is, 1, do it towards the evening, and 2, keep them distracted. And so, yeah, let me know if there's any other questions with that, but that's basically what my advice is for that. And then 3 to 4 weeks old, because that's before the adult hormones kick in. All right. Oh, that wouldn't work either. Interesting. All right, Verna, you just keep going with whatever link that was. It works for me. I wonder why. All right. Thank you. Brooke says, holler at all my friends. All right, QuailCon is in September, as I said, and I'm going to put the link to the camping pass if you're planning to camp, and dinner. And dinner is going to be quail, and I think they're going to roast a hog again and some sides. It's really good. Dawn says, I tried to introduce a 4-week-old Roo to 3 hens, and they went after him. They were his mamas. I put the divider up, and today introduced them to his cage, and he bred them. He'll be 5 weeks Wednesday. So, but the point is that there was a divider, and then he was fine, right? When you remove the divider. Yeah. So basically what that does is it gets them used to each other being in their space, but they can't get to each other. So I think that's a great thing. Yeah. Yeah. Dawn's we're just passing out hugs. Dawn says, we had tiny snowflakes last night. Wow. Saw my 20-day weather and 30s at night into May. Wow. Well, it's a good thing you do aquaponics inside. Wow. That is some nights in the low 30s. Yeah, with gardening, it doesn't matter if it's some nights or all nights, because that's pretty cold. Yeah. So Erica's saying, yes, that puppy we're talking about, German Shepherd. She is dehydrated and skinny, also has a cold. Oh. Well, she's in good hands now. You're going to take care of her. And Verna wants to know if you're taking her to the vet. Yeah, there's a whole slew of things that she could have come into contact with, so I would be careful with your own dogs as well. Oh, and she has an appointment Wednesday. Okay, cool. I'm just scrolling up. Here we go. My son named her Grace because it was by the grace of God we found her in time. Wow. Wow. Brooke says, freezing and cloudy again. Usually I have a nice tan by now. Snow up the hill tonight, 3,500 feet. Wow, Brooke. Yeah, I'm just gonna plant those green beans. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna wait for the tomatoes because I don't want those to freeze. But the tomatoes I have already in the porch or in the garage under lights. But yeah, usually we're planting things out by now. I just don't trust. I don't trust the night. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Steve and Verna. I'll talk to Linda. Huh. All right. Erica says, not going to be doing much gardening this year. We still have to clean up the property. You might, let me start that sentence over. You might consider, since you're not going to be gardening and you're going to be doing a whole bunch of cleanup work, you might consider thinking about what your long-term goals are with, like, if you're going to do fruit trees or fruit bushes or something like that. Because if you plant them, you don't need to do much care except for water and weed suppression. So if you do like cardboard and some mulch just right around the trees and put a watering system on them, and you can let it be and have that in, and that way you'll be like a year ahead of the game, rather than starting next year. It might be worth it to spend a little bit of money up front for those trees right now. And they can be cheap too. I mean, there are cheap trees out there. I mean, I have a $4 apple tree back there, I think. Like, I mean, they can be pretty cheap. And they'll still give you food. And if you don't know like what food is on there, you can graft something else. So I suggest using that time wisely, if that is in your plan, to do that this year while you're cleaning up the property. And you can always move trees as well. Like, you can get them started, and if you decide, oh wow, that really was a cruddy place to put it, you can always dig a big pit around it and move it. So that would be my recommendation. And you can also start some long-term crops. So like asparagus. If you're going to have asparagus, if that's in your plan, that is something that takes a few years before you can even eat it, because it takes a while for the roots to grow strong enough to support you cutting it back a lot. So to start thinking about those things. Yeah. Verna says, I have 45 eggs that go into the lockdown tomorrow. Awesome. Ooh, Erica, tornado damage? Are you asking if she's... Oh, the property she's cleaning up, I believe, is an inherited property that's just overgrown and stuff. I could be wrong, but I thought that was who we were talking to. Trying to keep everybody's stories straight. Thank you, Verna, for putting the food preservation playlist up. That's a link to... It's mostly canning right now. There's some other stuff in there, I think, but it's mostly canning. Ed says, whoops, forgot it was Monday. LOL. Hi, everyone. Hi, Ed. Welcome. Gary's back. I still haven't made mayonnaise. Sorry. Welcome. Greetings, Katrina and Verna. It's been a while, and howdy to all the Quail family friends from North Carolina. Welcome, welcome. Everybody saying hi to Ed and Gary. Okay. Yeah, Aaron's link work. Well, we'll get it working. We'll get it working. All right, everybody saying hi. Oh, awesome. Verna says, Katrina, I got a collard tree going. Awesome. You're gonna like that. It does get bitter in the summer, but you'll like it in the fall and in the. I don't know if it will overwinter where you are, maybe, but fall, winter, spring, you're gonna like it. It's good. And Verna says, saw your beet going to seed on your vlog today. Yeah, it won't actually seed for quite some time. Beets are one of those plants that just they take forever to do their cycle all the way through to a seed. But the beets that you see, except for the ones on the side of the house, I haven't planted beets in years. They plant themselves. I did plant several different types. Chioggia was one of my favorites. I actually don't eat them as beets. Although I love pickled beets. I eat them as the greens. It's more efficient that way, I think. I mean, you could eat one beet, or you can live off of that plant for a long time. So yeah, that's how I eat them. Cali Quail Keeper says, goals, Katrina. Dehydrator works for me. Love tzatziki sauce. Fresh dill is great. Love to try the borage. I'm going to send you borage plants. I have that on my list. Yeah, tzatziki sauce. You can make it. And dill. I love dill. I have not really ever been successful growing dill here. I grew it last year, and then something started this year and didn't work. I don't know why, but I love it. It's good. But yeah, I have a video on doing tzatziki sauce with dried herbs, and the dried herbs, I put way too much in the video, and I did put that in the text on the video. But basically, dehydrated to fresh. So if you have like a cookbook and says you need this, 1 teaspoon of dill, let's say, and it's a dehydrated dill, that because they're going to go to the store and get it. If that, you're going to use 3 times as much fresh. So it's a 1-to-3 ratio for that, dry to fresh, and that's pretty consistent throughout dried herbs. So yeah, dehydrator is in 2020. I mean, I've dehydrated for a long time before that, but in 2020, I basically had my dehydrator going all summer. Like, I would just replace things. And I mean, there's so much you can. I mean, I have spices, oregano and thyme and marjoram and all these things, and sage. I don't think I did sage. I did curry leaf. If you live in like I live in zone 9B, I can grow curry leaf plant, and so I dehydrated some of those just to have as a sprinkle. So yeah, you can do a lot with the dehydrator. Although I did see, I had to go to Tractor Supply today because I went out to the local feed store to get feed, and they did not have food for my babies. They didn't have I use a 27% turkey starter for the chicks for quail, and they didn't have it. And the truck didn't come in twice that it was supposed to come in. And I asked, I said, well, is this what is the issue? And they said, it's not a supply issue, it's a transportation issue. So I'm wondering if there's something going on with the truckers out there, that they're not taking jobs, or maybe certain companies are becoming more strict on things. I don't know. Supposedly it's coming on Friday, but I need it before Friday. So I went to Tractor Supply and got some 30% Purina game bird feed. And those bags used to be 50 pounds, right? I think they're using the same bag. It's 40 pounds though. and $26 for 40 pounds. And that was quite a bit more than what I pay for the feed store. I don't know what I was going to tell you else besides just that, but there was a story in there somewhere. I don't remember what it was going to say. All right. Ed says, if any of my friends have affiliate link for it, I can make you a custom QR code if you want to hit me up. Awesome. Brooke says, fresh greens and herbs for seasoning plus quail eggs and salt. I've never dehydrated quail eggs. I know I was going to tell you. When I was at Tractor Supply, I saw Harvest Guard had freeze dryer there. And so they had those, I think the small one and the medium one they had there. I think they were displays, but they have them at Tractor Supply. So that's interesting. And I'm still very slowly paying on mine. I should probably just do it. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. All right. Erica says, Verna reclaiming an abandoned farm. Yep, that's what I thought. She had me checking myself, though. Sauteed. What are we sauteing? Good stuff? Yes. Versus that is wonderful. Erica says, lots of overgrowth and garbage from squatters. I am sure. Yikes. Wear gloves. Ed says, Erica, anything good there, like fruit trees and such? Yeah, if there's anything existing. So that's another thing to think about when you're cleaning it up, is like, if there's anything like black locust is a nitrogen fixer. So you might want to keep some of those around and not get rid of all of them. I know they're spiky, but that would be something to think about. Yeah. And then also like identifying the trees that you have, because like if you have willow, well, that's food for rabbits or, cattle or whatever. Like that's a food plant. If you have, just kind of identify the plants that are out there and especially the trees and the shrubs. So yeah, cool. Everybody's getting with Ed. Gary says, I've got me 79 pheasant eggs incubating from my 1 rooster and 7 hens. Can't wait to see how many hatch. Awesome. Is this what kind of pheasants are they? Are they just the plain ones? the ones we all know. Pheasants are tasty. I've never had their eggs, but I've heard they're good. But good luck. That'll be good. Let us know how that turns out. Erica says, add a few things, but there seems to be some sort of blight. That's why we have to clean up before planting. Okay. Hi, Andy Rabbit. She says hello. Erica's saying good luck, Gary. Everybody's saying hi. Verna's just saying 12 from the old eggs to Andy Rabbit. And you guys skipped. Hang on, come back. Okay, I have to scroll up. Sorry. Oh my gosh, you guys have been talking. I got to scroll up more. Okay. Brooke says, I must mention how inspired I am to build a huge double-duckered rabbit cage. My current is miniature, comparatively speaking. So, Brooke, it is wonderful because they can run. Like, they can just, and they do, when they do their running back and forth. However, this batch has decided that there is also an upstairs bathroom. So we're working on how to deal with that, because there's a downstairs bathroom where it's supposed to be, and some of them think there's an upstairs bathroom where there isn't supposed to be. So, yeah, it Before we put, I think it's because we replaced the flooring and the flooring doesn't smell like anything. Even though I rubbed from their bathroom, I took a towel and I rubbed that, and I rubbed where I would want them to pee. And yeah, so it's working. We just have to clean them off sometimes. But yeah, they are. They love it. They can run around. Ours is only 2 feet wide, but you could go 3 feet wide if you wanted. That's go with the length of the. My recommendation is, instead of building something and then putting in the flooring, find flooring and then build it to that width. Yeah, there's my recommendation. Everybody saying hi. And Verna says, I am bringing a few cuy for people to taste. It's a QuailCon. Yes, I'm excited to try it. Steve says, just for me. Try it. Yeah, I'm going to try some too. If she brings it. Tastes like chicken wings. Steve says, Aaron is making the alligator. Oh my gosh, I don't have anything unique and that I can bring on an airplane. Gator. I've never had gator. I've had snapping turtle, and that was not as good as I needed it to be. Erica loves gator. Andy Rabbit says, my Walmart has gator in the freezer by the shrimp. Oh my goodness. Wow. Aaron says, I can bring some alligator meat. I want to bring Steve some armadillo eggs to try. Armadillo eggs, huh? Interesting. No, they do not. As far as I know. Andy Rabbit says, wait, armadillo lay eggs. Steve says to Aaron, would that be 4 times the size, as they typically have 4 young per egg hatch? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Aaron says it's not actually armadillo eggs. Yeah, it's not. It's stuffed jalapeno with ground sausage wrapped in bacon. It looks like an egg. Yeah. Trying to tease people. You're confusing poor Andy. Erica says, we bought some citrus trees and some olive. Awesome. And if you're not ready to plant them in the ground, if you put them in a big pot, they'll keep but they'll do better in the ground, but they'll mature in pots too. Very cool. Andy says, Erica, I just got a Meyer lemon and a clementine a few weeks ago. Both good choices. My clementine is I think that was a $6 tree. I think mine was a $6 tree. But mine is blooming right now, and it smells so good when you walk past. Yeah. Vase Place says, I bought collard greens and have been saving the part that had a stem, and it has grown a great root system already. It does over there. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, like I said in my video for growing tree collards, it just takes a cutting. So, and there's so many things that you can grow from grocery store stuff, and that's great. I think that's great. Nothing like free food that you already paid for, right? Oh, JJ's back. Verna says 4 young are born in a burrow in March. All 4 young, always of the same sex, are identical I can't say that word. Twins, but 4. And develop from the same egg. They even share a single placenta while in the womb. I did not know that. Are we talking about armadillos? Interesting. Armadillos are the only mammals in which multiple young form from a single egg with any regularity. Learn something new every day. Andy Rabbit says, I'm asking my dad about the armadillo laying eggs. I want to see what he says. Be nice. Steve's going to be trying kudzu this year. Are you also going to be trying goats? Kudzu, I have heard, is a really good forage for animals. I mean, it's definitely abundant where it has invaded. Don't grow that. Yeah. JJ said, I didn't know borage tasted like cucumber. I use salad burnet for cucumber flavor. Yeah, borage, the flowers is what people usually eat. And they put them in, fancy drinks and ice cubes and stuff like that, and have them on cakes and things. But the leaf, especially the young leaf, if you're going to eat it raw, eat the young leaf, and then that will be tender and it'll taste like cucumber. And then the older leaves, though, you can dehydrate them and powder them or grind them so they're like more of a seasoning, and use them that way, and works great. Verna says, Katrina, you need a bay tree. I do not. We have a native bay laurel, California bay laurel here that it's not the cooking bay, like it's not the one that you would buy in a supermarket, but it is related and it has the same flavor. And the leaves are twice as strong. So if the recipe calls for one, then just use half. So I get mine for free by going hiking. Yeah. All right. Andy Rabbit says, I had a bay tree 2 years ago. It did great in the summer, but the first night the temperature dropped, it died. Really? California bay would have lasted. I don't know where all that might grow. I don't know where the limits are. I mean, the name is California bay laurel, I think. Or California laurel or something like that. Yeah. Cali Quail Keeper says the grocery stores sell a lot of herbs that aren't even what they say it is. Turmeric, curry, ginger. Have you grown ginger from the supermarket yet? I actually did not grow ginger from the supermarket. What I did is I have grown ginger from a guy in Hawaii called Biker Dude. Look up Biker Dude and Hawaii ginger, and they do like culture. They do a tissue thing, because the issue that can come up with supermarket ginger is that there's a disease that it can have. It does not affect you, the consumer, to eat it, because it only affects ginger. But if you then plant that and it is infected into your garden, then you're not going to grow much ginger after that, is the theory. I have only read about these things, never experienced them. But there is a lot of great ginger, different types, and different types of turmeric as well out there. So my recommendation, it's a little late in the season this year to be ordering from him, but my recommendation is to order from Biker Dude in Hawaii, because they have a much more clean system that is disease free. So yeah, but you can totally grow it from the store and it will do well, and you just have to hope that disease is not transferring into your ground. But I have grown turmeric from the store before I knew all that. I don't know if turmeric has the same issue or not. Curry. So curry leaf. I used to have a curry leaf tree that it died this summer with the water that got shut off, because it was in a pot. I do have new curry leaf trees that I got. They're seedlings though, so like that big, and so they have some time to grow still. But that is wonderful. Curry leaf tree is wonderful. It can be kept in a pot. The pot that I had it in is a like a wine barrel, half wine barrel. But yeah, definitely. Yeah, the other thing that I was thinking when I got my property, I was like, what can I grow? Right. And you want to grow all these things, and you want to grow your seasonings, because look how expensive they are. I mean, I grow saffron. I spent, I don't know, $100 on bulbs, I think, and I split the order. I think it was a $200 order, and I don't remember if we each got 100 bulbs or 200 bulbs each, because I split the order with someone from Dutch Bulbs, .com or something like that. And saffron is an incredibly expensive spice, and it's incredibly expensive because of the labor it takes and the land it takes up. So it's a 2 to 3 week harvest, and that's it. And you only get 3 strands from every flower. So it's a very abbreviated thing. In my area, it's around Halloween is when that happens. But it takes absolutely no care. You don't, in the Mediterranean climate where I am, which means you can grow it in a pot, it doesn't take any extra water, and it doesn't take any extra fertilizer. It just grows. It grows. It's from a bulb. So think about that. Like, I'm sure if you have saffron in your cabinet, it's probably not open. Right? People buy it because they think they're going to use it, and they're like, oh, it's too expensive to use, which is silly, but it happens. Or maybe you used it once and you're like, oh, I got to hold on to this for a special occasion. Well, you can grow your own spices. Then, I mean, you save so much money already, you know? So with that, I was thinking of spices I can grow and, you know, thinking about different things. And so I grow a lot of my own seasonings now. But one that I was thinking about but never did, once I figured out how it grew, is cloves. Because cloves will be a wonderful thing to be able to have and use, and it's good and all of that. But it's a tree. Cloves are the bud of a flower of a tree. So for my small space, I decided not to do that. Now, it's something you can market for sure. Homegrown cloves. I'm sure that would make you some money. But as a person, I don't think you would use a whole tree's worth of cloves every year. So, but yeah, thinking about those types of things that you can use and enjoy. Cinnamon is another one. I got a cinnamon tree and it died like upon arrival, which is so frustrating. But cinnamon, I'm on the edge of here, and I was going to bring it in and protect it during winter and then bring it out. Because cinnamon, what you do is you cut it every 2 years. So you have it grow, and then every 2 years you cut it, and then the sprouts come up, and then you let it grow 1 year, next year cut it, grow 1 year, next one cut it. And it's the bark that you're going for, is the inner bark. So yeah, there's a lot of things you can do, a lot of money you can save by growing things your own. Yeah, there's goals. There's goals. Verna says, Tractor Supply had 40 pounds bags of game bird starter. I had to get some today. Yeah, but I think those bags used to be 50 pounds, didn't they? Because I mean, the bag definitely isn't filled up. I don't think they've changed the bags. I think they just changed the number of pounds and and raised the price. Because it's more expensive. Definitely more. It's more expensive if it was a 50-pound bag, but it's definitely more expensive knowing that's a 40-pound bag compared to what I usually get. So, yeah. Ed says fuel prices are high. They are not making much money. The truckers, that might be the case. Yeah, that might be the case. And I know in California there's regulations for some of the pollution stuff that's happening with them, and I know there's a lot of truckers that they feel they just can't afford to do that, and California is not helping them. Either they're not helping them, or the people don't know the process to get help to make those changes to their trucks. So I know, like, for example, I know a couple years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, there was something about, I don't know the names, but there was something about fixing a certain part of the truck because it had they've had too many fires start because that gets too hot. It's something on the undercarriage, and I don't know what it was, but and that everybody had to change in the state. So yeah. But fuel is probably part of it. Brooke says, Andy, a lady came to feed store with a trunk full of bay. I was exclaiming on it and got a few branches. Bay for days. Yes, bay for days. Erica says, I was going to get feed today, got a puppy instead. Well, I mean, that's okay. As long as your birds don't starve. As long as they can wait a couple days. JJ says, I kind of got chewed out by the live poultry guy at Rural King. I was looking for game bird feed. Anyways, he was pretty much knew everything because his grandpa owned a chicken farm. So he said, what did he say? I'm scrolling. And gotta scroll up now. Hang on. And lost you guys again. I'm scrolling up. Okay, so he said, I gotta skip down to the rest of yours. So he said is what you're saying. Okay. Andy Rabbit says, I've grown ginger from the stores before, have some turmeric right now from the organic store right now. I'll see if it's true organic or not. Yep. It should grow. They do not overwinter well in wet. When I grew with the ginger and the turmeric, I think there might be like one turmeric that's still out there, but I had a lot of it. I kept some of it in the ground, and that was a mistake because it was a wet year, and I think a lot of it rotted. So don't leave it in the ground if you're in a wet area. Let's see. Verna's laughing at you, JJ. Isn't it funny how grandpa growing things makes grandchild experts? Yeah. Yep. Andy Rabbit says, I think you can start a bay tree from the branches. Possible. You can try it. I do not know. You could try it, though. It might be like willow. Steve says, my grandpa was a cement mason, so that makes me an expert with cement. I'm adding that to my resume now. Everybody laughing at you. Brooke says, all is in ball jars now. Bay for years. Yeah, so do you vacuum seal your jars, Brooke? I use a brake bleeder to vacuum seal my jars. I have a video on that. I don't know what it's under. It's probably under food preservation, to show you how to do that. But you can just get the attachment. If you have a food saver, you can hook that up too, which I have that too, but I always put it back into the box and then get it out when I use it again. And the brake bleeder is just easier to get to. So I use that, but that way it's vacuum sealed and it's much fresher. It lasts for a while once it's dried. Definitely dry it first. Steve says, my other grandpa worked on the railroad, so I'm also an engineer. Woohoo! I'm super smart now. Ringneck. That's the one I was thinking of, Gary. Ringneck pheasants. Egg tastes wonderful too. And LOL and mayo. Gotta keep coming. Here we go. JJ says, yep, Verna, I left without getting any feed because he insisted Coturnix was a pet, not a game bird. He was Lord overall product in store. Fun. Erica says, we have privet, a lot of privet and locust. I don't know anything you can do with privet. You might ask someone if there's something you can graft onto it. And locust, I mean, you're going to have to make your own decisions, but that is a nitrogen fixer. So that's something to consider. You can plant something next to it and have it be a chop and drop. Maybe you chop it down to a stump and then let it grow and then chop all that stuff and do a chop and drop for that. Yeah. I mean, it's free wood. It's free nutrition. So that's where I'm going from, you know. Aaron says, my grandfather was a farmer, Steve. What does that make me? Andy says, I kept all my bay leaves too. It's not enough to make up for what I paid for that tree, though. Yeah. Verna says, what a gem. Erica says, we spent last year letting everything grow so we could identify what we wanted to keep. Awesome. So you've already gone through that process. That is so awesome. And hopefully with that process, you know where the sun hits and where it's, super shady and stuff like that for planting. JJ says, Andy Rabbit, yes, you can start bay tree by a young branch, pound the end, and put in a pot of soil and place in the shade. I've started curry leaf trees before. Of course, I had to buy these new ones because I didn't have any more. Give them away. By using a rooting hormone and putting slits in the bark. And what that does is it accesses that inner bark and is able to kind of pull out. That's going to be where the roots grow. So it's not just at the tip. And that might make a better root. I have no idea if that's the same with bay or not. But do some experimenting. JJ's laughing at you, Steve. Andy says, I found rabbits don't care for bay branches. They're pretty pungent, so I think that's okay. We did give the newer bunnies, our new breeders, Ravioli and Rigatoni is the names. We did give them dandelion flowers and dandelion leaves this past week, and they tried marjoram. Someone was over and I gave her marjoram to give to the quail, and she gave it to the rabbit. I'm like, well, let's see what happens. And one of them was like, I don't think so. Another one took a few bites and like, eh. So I'm gonna put marjoram on the not for rabbits not loving it list. Yeah. Steve says, JJ, you can refer him to Quail University to help him learn about quail. Steve, you're so passive aggressive. And Verna put my affiliate link for Quail University. Thank you. Andy Rabbit says, haha, there you go, Steve. That's a good one. JJ says, yep, he had some prising looking tattoo on his face. So I graciously bowed out. Good choice. Come a different time. Don't tell him what you're looking for. Just say, or don't tell him why you're looking for something. Just say, hey, I'm looking for this. JJ says to Steve, I won't be inviting that person anywhere, but maybe church. Oh boy. Verna wants a kumquat tree. Verna, do you know what kind? Because there are many kinds, and there's some that are much more tasty than others, and I do not remember the names. Kumquat is a citrus, and it's small, and you can eat the skin too. Like you just bite through the whole thing. It's super good. And there's some different flavored ones. Steve says, JJ, good thing he's not at my store. I would have a few words on how he was not that smart and got in my feed. Oh boy. Brooke says, Verna, you can't get collards in a can here, or okra. My faves. You can't. Yeah, I don't think you can here. I've never looked for it, Brooke. I like okra though. I like it mostly, when it's breaded and fried. I'm not too keen on the slimy, but I like it once it's less slimy. Andy Rabbit says, I got a few flowers on the orange tree. The lemon tree is looking a bit in shock. Did it have too much cold? My citrus are recovering. And I was at a job site today where they had citrus too, and they looked like my citrus. I said, oh, you think they got too much water? He goes, yep. Okay, well, I think that's what everybody's story is here, is they just kind of got leached out. Oh, Brooke's waiting for a kumquat to bloom here. Verna says, Brooke, I don't eat canned greens. Always taste tinny. I don't think I've ever had canned greens. I think, I know you can do it. Maybe I should try it. Maybe I should try. I guessing you would follow spinach. I don't know. I know you can do that. But there's, there's frozen spinach. That's the closest thing I've had to canned anything is frozen. The mush. Yeah. And JJ says, Steve, they didn't even have turkey feed, so there wasn't any high protein feed in the store that I could find, and Mr. Chicken Expert wasn't helping any. Yeah. So one time I had to get because nobody had the turkey starter, nobody had the game bird starter, nobody had any of that. What I ended up doing was the meat bird feed. Meat, I don't remember what it was called, but it was for meat birds, and boy, their poop stank. Their poop stank a lot. But it worked, and they lived, and then we ate them. Steve says, really, no collards should be right next to other greens. There are no greens. Like, so as far as I know, in the canned section of our stores, greens aren't really in there. We have, peas and green beans, and that's the only thing that are green that I can think of that they can. Yeah, I think it's a difference in a region. I think you guys have a lot more collared stuff than we do here. But if you can grow it, you can do it yourself. That's maybe my next tree, Andy says. Kumquat. They're good. JJ says, yum, kumquat sounds good. I have a lot of dead nettle here. You guys keep talking about that, and I've never had that or never experienced that. So hopefully it's edible and it's good. I think you guys were talking about it being medicinal, right? Callie says, Vernum, they don't have fresh of either. My favorite is pickled okra. Yeah, we found there's, I think it's just a regional difference. I really do. I mean, collards are not, it's more kale that is out here. Yeah, it's more like there's kale, there's chard. I didn't even think they sell beet greens. I think it's mostly kale, a couple different types of kale, and then some chard. And I mean, like, and you'd have to pay so much for like a bundle of each. Yeah. Ed says kudzu, you can almost watch it grow. Don't plant it in your yard. Yes, Ed. I have heard. Yeah. So Brooke's saying, Steve, nope, I swear none. I love collards and bacon. Yeah. So I'm gonna. Are you ready for your tree collard? Because I have that one that I planted that has roots. I will send it with stuff. JJ says, when living in North Carolina, kudzu was everywhere, but too much swamp and poison ivy to get to it. You need goats. Steve says, kudzu plant leaves, vine tips, and purple flower blossoms are edible. You can eat the root as you would other root vegetables. I'm never going hungry again. It's plentiful here. Can you live off of it though? Right? Verna says, wow, send me some a root so I can plant it. Yeah, it takes over the world is what I hear. Andy says kudzu is good for rabbits to eat. Just need a truck bed full of it a day. Hey, Kelly's here. Feather Connection Homestead. Hello, welcome. Oh my God, I'm so sorry I'm late. It's okay. Neighbors invited my kids over to pet their 9 puppies. That is a good excuse. 4-week-old labs. My kids loved it, and the puppies fell asleep on them. Aw, that is a good excuse, Kelly. Welcome. Andy says, "Oh my goodness, Verna, one root will take over the state fast." Everybody's saying hi to Kelly, and I gotta go back up because you guys jumped again. Let me see where you guys are. Not enough can in a pot. Andy Rabbit says 9 puppies are a good reason to be late. I agree. Verna says, yes, Katrina, the bags used to be 50 pound. I thought so, but during COVID it dropped down to 40 pound. I thought so, and it looks like they just kept the same bag because there's like that much space at the top of the bag, and I'm sure people don't even know. People are like, oh, I'm just getting a bag of feed. I wonder why it's not lasting as long, because you've always done it. Yeah, shrinkflation there. Andy Rabbit says, I have to get some quail feed tomorrow. I hope I remember before they close. Ooh, put a reminder in your phone. Ed's saying hi. Andy Rabbit, I only saw the first part of that and I was like, what? And then I read the rest of it. I am getting a chocolate otter Rex tomorrow. I don't know what an otter is. I mean, I know what an otter is. I don't know what a chocolate otter Rex is. I'm guessing it's dark brown and you're talking rabbits. But I don't know what otter is. Let me know. Everybody saying hi, Kelly. Brooke says, Katrina, the puppy is waiting for you to pick her up soon. I think I'm not ready yet. I know I want a puppy. I'm not ready yet. Yeah, I know. JJ says, Andy, I'm going to get my feed off the net this time. Good luck. And Brooke says, Ed, hope you're feeling inspired for QuailCon. Love the proto. Awesome. Ed and Brooke are going to be doing crafting at QuailCon, and it's going to be fun. Andy says, turmeric doesn't overwinter here in MO. Is that Missouri? I think that's Missouri. I have to bring it in the house for winter. Yep. And Andy Rabbit says JJ Chewy has game bird feed. That's good to know. Do they have like huge delivery fees and stuff? That's a question I don't know the answer to. Vernon says, Andy, that is why so many things are better in pots than in the ground. But I think those you can dig up and pot up, and probably in the ground they're going to get a little bit more nutrition and coverage. Then you have in pots, you have to give them nutrition additional to what you would in the ground. That would be the only thing. Ed's working on it, waiting on some supplies. Andy Rabbit says, yes, Verna, many pots around my house. JJ says, I see that Andy Rabbit, it might be Chewy. They deliver to the door too. Awesome. Oh, they even bring up the stairs, Verna says. Goodness, you got it made there. JJ says, but it sounds like much better service than Tractor Supply. Yeah. Verna says, Katrina, have you ever used honey in place of rooting hormones? I have not, and I've really only done a few things with the rooting hormone, and it's worked. So I just haven't done anything else. I've heard of using honey. I've heard of using cinnamon. So I think any of those are things that could potentially be used. Ed says, my grandfathers were a town sheriff and other worked in a boys detention center. So what does that make me on Facebook? I'm criminal repeat offender. Oh boy. Okay, so Erica says the goats eat the privet and the locust. Awesome. Thorns and all, huh? And you have goats? Hopefully. If anything, just for them to do this job. Andy Rabbit said one of the feed store sales some guinea pig feed as Chewy, or I would buy it from them. The feed store I usually go to actually has guinea pig feed. I was like, what? There's a specific feed for that? But they have a whole bunch of stuff. Like they have their, Farmers is the brand. That's their like home brand or whatever, that's It has to come from somewhere, but that's what it is. And then they have other brands of things there as well. So and they've like cat food, dog food, and stuff like that too. Verna says the only place I can get 50-pound bags of guinea feed is at Chewy. Wow. Whatever kind I can get. Yeah. Hey, Witch Doctor's here. Welcome. She says, "Hey everyone. I hope that everything's treating you well. Welcome, welcome." Andy Rabbit says the bag I get is 20 or 25-pound bag, and it's $22. Lasts about 2 months for the guinea pig. Yeah. And Ed says okra is good freeze dried. Does the sliminess go away? Mucilaginous is the word. That's a question, Ed. Let me know. Vase Place says I like raw okra if it is under 4 inches long. Otherwise, only fried. Yeah. Oh, and Verna pays about the same for 50-pound bags as the 25-pound bags. It might be worth looking at, Andy Rabbit. Steve says okra breaded and fried or oiled and roasted on the grill outside. I tried to grow okra here, and it's not the right place. It worked for I never got okra to do anything with it. I had okra. I mean, they got bigger, but a couple in a day, that's not going to get you very far. Yeah. Ed says I get it pre-cut, frozen, and freeze dried. Great. Okay. Aaron says I love okra raw, fried, and freeze dried. Wow. I like small okra too. Goodness. I like okra. It's just it doesn't grow well here. Kelly says, "Did she see me? Yes, I see you." Anyways, I just wanted to say I love you, Katrina. Oh, you're such a good person. Yeah. So Verna said, Kelly, she hasn't reached you yet. Yep. We got lots of talking this time, which is good. We're talking about my topic was going to be gardening, but we've been talking about it all the time. So we're just talking about gardening. Aaron brought it up first tonight, so blame him. Yes, welcome, Kelly. Ed says, "I see you, Kelly." Patience tickle trunk. So she probably jumped off and came back. Yeah, that's fine. She has kids. JJ says once in a while we can find canned greens. It's pretty good. I don't think I've ever had canned